What up, my Zeebs? Alright there, you little demons. Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and authorly hosted Choose Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the Crown Jewels of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you. Yes, you, the person who is speaking very, very quickly because of the fact that I'm trying to make the most of the natural sunlight, of which we have only got about 13 minutes left for the year here in the UK. Hey, yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week, and this week we have none other to thank than Brendan Fiera for their suggestion of amazing, meticulous and supremely crafted video game box art that actually was hiding utter stinkers of video game quality. Oh yay! And here's the thing, my friends, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but you probably should have judged these video games a lot harsher, because even though they had amazing looking art that lured you in with its tantalizing hand-drawn quality or just picture perfect perfection, these games were bad, no doubt about it. So unfortunately, we're going to be creating a sort of gallery of sorts as we walk through together, and I twirl a moustache that I wish was slightly longer so that I could actually twirl it, as we critique and celebrate, but mostly critique the games that are hidden behind beautiful facades. Much like me, really. So let's have a chat about it. I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 amazing box arts that made you buy bad games. Number 8, Jurassic Park Trespasser. Now, it is tough to deny that the box art for Jurassic Park themed first-person actioner, got a bit of Sean Conneryism in there, Trespasser, goes really damn hard, as the kids say these days. What's that? They're not saying this because the moment that I say something as a person in my mid-30s is completely out of fashion already. What do the kids say? Zeebs? Zibzobs? What? Dang it. Now, we all, as a collective group of humanity, have an insatiable interest in dinosaurs. Well, it's the ongoing success of the Jurassic Park movies despite their generally terrible quality. And so Trespasser's in-your-face visual of a feral raptor screaming at you, well, that is tough to shake. Moreover, the cover art actually enticingly ballyhooed Trespasser as the evolution of first-person 3D gaming, which, because of the fact that it was released mere weeks before Half-Life came along and actually made good on that promise, was actually still believable at the time. Imagine if it had come after that fact. It's like, it's going to revolutionise 3D first-person gaming. Half-Life's just there like, you and I are going to have that word, City Jim. Why don't you put down your pint and let's step outside and discuss this like bed.
A shootout, right, is a f***ing shootout!
And to be fair to Trespasser, it is not like the mere cynical junk that will make up the rest of the games on this list. It is instead a game that is both innovative and awful, rightly celebrated for its large open environments, impressive dino AI, state-of-the-art graphics, and extensive ragdoll physics. But it is dinged rightly for being frustratingly clunky, bug-filled, and really quite boring when it comes down to it, and you should never be able to say that about a game that has dinosaurs. These issues were all largely attributed to the game being rushed to market, but at least we got some all-timer cover art out of this, and its innovative mechanics inspired a bevy of more successful FPS games such as Halo, Combat Evolved, and Far Cry. So it was basically like, thank you very much, Trespasser, thank you for coming in. 10 years at the Cracker Factory. No, I did not say good luck. Number 7, Unlimited Saga. Now, Unlimited Saga was released in 2002 and was the 9th installment in the Saga RPG franchise, which, in the very least, hit the market with some truly eye-popping, artful cover art. What? Sailor Man. The gorgeous watercolour-style visual motif, hand-scrawled logo, and neatly boxed teases of the game's central characters made this game look, ooh, la la, little classy number right here, a gorgeous entry into the hit franchise. Don't worry, I won't be doing that accent any longer. It didn't hurt that the style clearly recalled that of the Final Fantasy games of the era, and the prominent placement of the Square Enix logo only cemented that association. But Unlimited Saga remains a heavily polarising release to this very day, because it is a bewilderingly experimental RPG which largely refuses to explain its arcane combat system to the player lest they actually shell out for an extra guidebook. Oh yes, that's right. This is around the time that basically Square Enix was like, hey, you know what we like? Money. Why don't you buy all of our guides? Let's hide stuff that you could only find out if you buy this official guidebook here. Cheers, lads. Couple this with a horribly unintuitive user interface, and for most players, Unlimited Saga felt more like doing homework than actually losing themselves in a grand adventure. Now, it is certainly an interesting game, just not a very good one. Number 6. NeverDead. It's all too fitting that the cover art for 2012's third-person action and NeverDead is basically the peak of edgy early 2010s video game art, given that the game was first revealed to the world at Konami's infamously disastrous 2010 E3 presser. Now, the box art looked cool and distinctive compared to pretty much anything else that was going at the time. And this was around the time that the PS360 era was just like sludge. Just, hey, do you like beige? Double scoop? What does it taste like? Gravel? Does it come with a jus? So in contrast, this popped with, well, actual contrast and colour. It was just like, bleh, blah, 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 and a little bit of, ooh. But the actual game, haha, big old slot bucket, my friend. Poo-poo pancakes. Now, though the central dismemberment mechanic, whereby players could lose body parts in combat and then roll them around to pick them up, had a ton of promise, it was ultimately just more clunky and tedious than actually interesting and fun. And that's not to ignore the generally mediocre combat and an absolute mess of a story, which was a hugely disappointing outcome given that it was developed by Metal Gear Solid designer Shin Tenojiri and Sniper Elite devs Rebellion, so it should have been absolute gold, but instead it was just iron pyrite, aka fool's gold, and yes, I did actually have to look that up in order to make that joke, and I'm not even sure if it was worth it. Yes, I'm the fool. More like pie in the face, am I right? Okay, there's a lot of things going on over here. Let's just move on. Sorry, Big Pidge. I know I'm wasting time. I know you've got to go to the doctors today. Let's just move this along. Don't worry, he's not sick, but you can buy the official Big Pidge guide to find out why he may or may not have things going on. Separate purchase here at What Culture Gaming. Number 5, Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. Now, the Mortal Kombat franchise was, of course, one of the most popular video game IPs of the 1990s. And in 1997, Midway delivered the fighting series' first ever spin-off entry, Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. And let's be real here. If you walked into the gaming store and saw this cover touting the brilliantly effective minimalist visual of the iced-over Mortal Kombat logo, how could you not be intrigued? A Sub-Zero themed Mortal Kombat game, what is not to like? How about everything? Everything, because as it turns out, this sucked a lot. And you were conned into buying this game. The nifty key art definitely sold you on something far better than the promise, because this was a coma-inducingly dull action game that had the worst type of action in it, one that you just go through the motions, you're like, I killed a guy, and I feel nothing inside. What does that say about me? And that is without even getting into the hilariously low-budget FMV sequences, which at least did offer a brief measure of charm compared to the absolute rote side-scrolling gameplay. Despite its awesome cover, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero proved enough of a critical and commercial flop that it thankfully scared away Midway from ever producing another spin-off again under the Mythologies umbrella. Number 4, Lair. The PS3 exclusive action-adventure game Lair was marketed on the strength of one identifiable maxim. If all else fails, shove a load of dragons inside of it. And indeed, the cover for Lair absolutely remains a gorgeous piece of art that you might want to hang on your wall, were it not actually associated with one of the PS3's worst exclusive blockbuster titles ever. The art promised medieval combat and airborne, fire-breathing dragon action, but Lair was hobbled right out of the gate by its mandatory inclusion of 6-axis motion controls, requiring players to tilt the controller in order to steer the dragon. Now, as you can imagine, as a teenager at the time, well, that's pushing it. A person in my early 20s at the time, I was like, hell yeah, riding a dragon, woo! Immediately less cool when you've just got a controller and you're just going, yay. Oh, I tilted it too much and now he's flying into a cliff face. Woo! How wow! Just sometimes motion controls make you look like such an idiot that you cannot escape. It's like Brechtian theatre. You know, that theatre type that makes you aware that you're watching a play? This makes you painfully aware you're playing a game and you can't lose yourself in the moment. The forced motion controls made the act of playing this game a chore, no matter how undeniably pretty that Lair was for its time. And although developer Factor 5 did eventually release a patch introducing analog stick and D-pad support, oh bloody hell, D-pad support, doing so more than 7 months after its release ensured that most people had already moved the hell on. Number 3. Rise of the Robots. There should probably be a support group for the great many young, impressionable players who thought that Rise of the Robots was basically the coolest looking game ever at the time, thanks to its box art. This 1994 fighting game sold itself as a badass cyborg brawler with neat character designs and cutting-edge 3D graphics, which were exemplified by plastering the Terminator-like bot of Echo 35-2 on the front of the box and then just calling it a day. Now, for the mid-90s standards, he looked awesome. But when players got home and played it for themselves, they quickly realised that they had been sold a smelly, rotten dud. A dud, I say. Even a face-melting soundtrack from Queen's Brian May could not move the needle much on this game. The robots moved, well, actually, like unwieldy hunks of metal, so that was pretty on point, actually. The movesets were completely uninspired, and it just had precious little to offer beyond neat-looking cyborg combatants. Despite failing critically, though, a sequel, Rise 2 Resurrection, was released a few years later, though at least this time around, anyone who played the first game knew to steer well clear of this one here. Number 2, Left Alive. Okay, I'm going to put a pause on the script right here because of the fact that even though Jack Pooley has written me a lovely, well-thought entry about why Left Alive suckered you in with its beautiful graphics and then delivered an absolute stinker, this actually happened to me. I was so looking forward to this game, and I actually got sold based on the box art, which was drawn by the same person who helped design the Metal Gear Solid games. And when I saw that, I thought to myself, like a fool, that I was going to get something akin to that quality. So, giddily, I skipped home, maybe I walked, it's hard to tell, hazy memories. I got home, installed this game, sat down and was like, wow, you know what? The style and aesthetics of this game are beautiful. I love the idea that instead of you trying to take down Metal Gear Rexes in the previous Metal Gear Solid games, here you were trying to sneak around giant mechs. You were sort of a stealth game. This is fantastic. This is like so many things are running parallel to a series that I already like. And then the game began. Oh God! To say that the wheels fell off this thing was an understatement. It was like it fell off and then you realised that you were actually riding a tricycle around on the fucking Titanic. You were going down hard, and the Titanic was on the bloody Hindenburg. It's just like, it was a disaster of unmitigated proportions, and I realised the exact moment that I was just like, right, I'm done with this game. I snuck inside a building, went up to the loft and thought to myself, hee hee, oh ha ha, I am a clever little roguish fella. Only for the guards in that area to not only immediately spot me somehow through a wall, but then hone in exactly on my location. And then, once I'd somehow managed to cobble together the stones in my pockets to fend them off and run away, what was waiting for me around the corner? Oh, it was a one-hit kill, giant Metal Gear Rex style thing who killed me dead straight away, game over, thank you please, and by the way, no checkpoints to start the again. I tell you what, I'm just gonna have to ask this. Big pitch, hold me back, by the way. Hold me back, mate, hold me back. Put Left Alive over here. It's like, could you put Left Alive, the box art, over here like that? Just let me out, don't actually let go. Because it's the whole point of it is be holding me back, all right? Let me out. Oh, if he wasn't holding me back, I'd do you, mate. It looked pretty though on the box, so yeah. There we go. And number 1, Drake of the 99 Dragons. Now the box art for Drake of the 99 Dragons might seem a little bit dated right now, but back in 2003, it's a real jam-up guy, my friend. I mean, it looks like an anime-loving, cross between, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was that sort of vibe, you know what I'm saying? I liked it. I liked it a lot. The cover is basically a checkbox of over-designed early aughts video game art tropes. It's got an edgy, hyper-masculine main character holding 2 guns while doing battle with a fleet of cyborgs in sleek, cel-shaded, line-heavy style. And to players of a certain persuasion in 2003, that was basically impossible to resist. Cheese? Oh, yes please. It was decidedly easier, however, to resist practically everything else about Drake of the 99 Dragons, given its god-awful shooting controls, maddeningly difficult enemies, incomprehensible story, laughably bad dialogue, and janky cutscenes. Over 20 years on, it continues to top most lists of all-time worst Xbox exclusive games. And rightly so. The "we made the poster first and designed the game around it" energy is strong in this one here. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 video game box arts that were awesome, but unfortunately hid terrible video games. I hope that you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, and put your suggestions for next week's episode down there as well. As always, I've been Jules, so you can go follow me over on my social medias over here, over on Blue Sky, and you can follow my lovely editor Sai over on her social medias over here as well. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Even though we spoke today a lot about beautiful video game box arts that were hiding terrible things, you know what else is beautiful and has a good thing on the inside? It's you, my friend. You're a beautiful person watching this video. I hope that you're doing well and treat yourself with love and respect, because that's all I want for you. At the end of the day, I bang on about it all the time. I just want you to live a healthy and happy life. That's it. And that sometimes starts with being kind to yourself, being kind to others, realizing when you need to ask for help. These things are important, and we should carry those messages with us every single day. It may seem like simple advice to some, but for others out there who don't have the confidence to start that process, this is the kick you need, my friend. Be nice to yourself. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.